So now I can actually create a getter. So public, and the return type of this method is going to be int, and the name of this method here is going to be get. So and make sure to actually start your method name with capital letter, get punch power, right? And then put a pair of parentheses. This method is not going to accept any parameters here. It is just going to return a value of type integer. So you can see that the return type of this method is integer, and that's why it is now showing us an error, and it says that we haven't still returned any values of type integer from this method. So the compiler is now actually complaining. So we need to satisfy the compiler by just typing here return punch power. So I just refer to the name of my instance variable punch power semicolon. So it's going to return the value of this punch power instance variable. This method is going to set the value of this punch power instance variable. It's going to assign a value to this punch power instance variable, and this method is going to get the value of this punch power instance variable. So now that we have our class and it is actually ready, let's go to this program.c# class, this program, and now let's actually go inside this main method, which is going to be the starting point for our application. First of all, we need to actually create an object of type boxer, which we has created here. So this is actually a type boxer class. So I just type in here boxer. So in order to create an object of type boxer, first, as you can see, I am just creating a variable here. So first of all, as any other variables that we create in C#, first we must specify the data type. And the data type of my variable here is going to be boxer, which is actually a type that I created myself. So boxer, and now I need to specify the name of the variable. So the name of the variable is going to be my boxer, right? Assignment operator, and now it's the time to create the new object of type boxer, the new instance actually. So just put the new keyword here and just type in here boxer, just refer to the name of the boxer class and put a pair of parentheses. Here we are creating the actual boxer instance or object, and we are assigning this object to this myBoxer variable. And here I am going to actually say myBoxer, here I'm going to say myBoxer dot. So as you can see, I cannot actually access my instance variable directly. I can only access my getters and setters that I provided inside the boxer class, the get punch power and the set punch power. So let's actually output this value to the console. So just type in here console dot write line and put a pair of parentheses here and just refer to the name of your boxer instance, to the name of your boxer variable actually that holds this boxer instance, dot get punch power semicolon, right? So as you can see here, it's now showing us an error, and this means that, as you can see, if I actually hover over this error, it says argument 1 cannot convert from method group to bool. And this means that we are actually calling a method, right? So we must put a pair of parentheses here, right? Now the error is gone. So at the end of your method name, always put a pair of parentheses. You are calling the method get punch power. So now let's run our application here. So just hold the control key on your keyboard down and then press on F5 key. So now let's wait a little bit here, and as you can see that in the console it says 0. So the value of the punch power initially is 0. Why? If I go inside this boxer class, you can see that when we actually declared this variable in line number 12 inside this boxer class, we did not initialize this variable. We just actually declared this variable. And the default value for simple types like integer in C# for the instance variables is going to be 0. So that's why you can see in the console the value 0 for the punch power when I tried to access the value of the punch power by using the get punch power method, and I called this method on the myBoxer instance. So that's why it is now 0. So let me actually close the program now, and here let's actually let's set a value to our to the punch power property, to the punch power instance variable of our myBoxer instance. So here I can say myBoxer dot set punch power, and I just need to actually put a pair of parentheses. I am calling a method, right? So I must put a pair of parentheses, and this method accepts an argument of type integer. So here I can say, for example, the value is going to be 80, right? Semicolon. So now I set the value 80 to the punch power of the myBoxer instance. So if you go inside the inside the Boxer class, here you can see that this is going to actually go execute this method here. And when I pass the value 80 as the argument of this method, it's going to assign the 80 to the punch power instance variable, punch power. So inside the program class here, I set the value 80 for the punch power instance variable. And now, again, I can actually output this value to the console. So console dot write line, and I just need to put a pair of parentheses. And here I can refer to the name of the instance, myBoxer dot, again, I want to call the get punch power, and then semicolon. So now again, because I am actually calling a method, I need to put a pair of parentheses at the end of the method name. Let's run our application now. Hold the control key on your keyboard down and then press on F5 key on your keyboard. So now, as you can see, you can actually see that the value is now 80, right? You can see this 80 here. So now let's actually close the program.